G'day, is Lance Stroll okay? That's the question being asked by a lot of people in the paddock at the moment, given what he's gone through with that injury. You'll remember that Lance sat out last race in Spain because of an injury that flared up, he said. He went and had some medical attention. He walked into the track with his right hand in his pocket. He sat in the media conference with his right hand in his pocket, and once again in another interview with his right hand in his pocket. We could see this tape sticking out of the top, but he assured the media at the press conference that he was going to be okay. And indeed he did drive during FP1 and FP2 today, although he ended up crashing out of the second session, as you probably saw. But this morning when he came in, this is what we saw. But if we go back to yesterday's press conference, a lot of you were saying, why was he just sitting there chewing gum? And I did notice that because I went in to see if he was okay. It's a curious situation because he is a Canadian, and I understand he wants to drive in his home Grand Prix. And it is shaping up to be a magnificent weekend. What's your take on it? There have been a number of rumours at the track about that injury, but if you put them aside and look at his behaviour in that press conference yesterday, it looked odd. Look, I hope on Sunday that he does well and answers all those critics who say that perhaps there's something more wrong with that hand. Of course, only he and his doctors know, but there's been plenty written about it and plenty of people talking about it. Now, special thanks to Holofly for sponsoring this video and for keeping me and so many others like me connected here at the Canadian Grand Prix. Whether you're at the track, exploring the city, or on the move, having fast, reliable internet is a must. Holofly's eSIM for Canada gives you unlimited data with zero hassle. No physical SIM card, no roaming surprises. Stream every second of the F1 action, post updates in real time, navigate stress-free, and even share your connection with 500 megabytes of daily hotspot data. If you're crossing borders, Holofly's North America eSIM covers Canada, the US, and Mexico, all with unlimited data under one plan. They have over 200 destinations covered, instant setup, and 24/7 multilingual support, so you're never out of touch. Use my code KimElman or hit the link in the description for 5% off and stay connected wherever the race takes you. Now, I've got to take my hat off to the Canadian fans. I don't think I've seen a bigger turnout for an FP1 session than I did here in Montreal. Have a look at the stands at the Hairpin in 2017. Have a look today. It was phenomenal. And Lance even has his own stand, this one over here. It was chock-a-block, and I thought we might get away from Lance on the first lap, as I think I've got him before doing that. But no, not the first lap. Did it come later on? I don't know. If you were in the stand, I'd be very keen to hear if you got a wave later on in the day. I want to talk to you about the Wall of Champions because I went over to that last corner today and stood right next to the point where the cars can get within centimetres of the wall. In fact, in FP1, I think it was today, wasn't it? Max actually touched the wall. Well, they get very close and they do it at speed, and it's an exhilarating feeling photographing them from such close proximity. But as you can see here, we are higher than the cars, with the marshals and us on the grass and the cars down below. Now, this might come too late if you're watching this after the Grand Prix, but if you're looking for a tip to get out of the track a bit quicker and you're taking the metro, don't queue up to go straight back to town. The smart move is to go the other direction one stop, get off, get back on a train that's going to the stop on the island, and then that way you're on the train and you'll easily get back to the city. Although it will be a bit squashy on that train. As you know, I'm a photographer, and as such, I shoot Canon. But a few of you have asked, what are the most popular camera brands in the media centre? I did a count today. Here's my results. Canon 31, Nikon 18, Sony 3, Leica 1. But that's a pretty good indication of which brand is dominant in motorsport. Oh, and if you're wondering about camera bags, pretty much everyone has a Think Tank roller bag. A couple have got Manfrottos. You might have seen a couple of Instagram stories today about Cadillac starting to advertise for staff, and they have a lot of positions available. I can tell you though that they've already been up and down the paddock and they're pinching some good people from individual teams. One person I spoke to said they're offering some pretty good deals at the moment, paying a premium to get good garage staff at the moment. And do they have a head office in the UK? They're operating out of some big units, warehouses, not too far from Aston Martin, and that's where all of their interviews are taking place. Of course, a new team into the paddock means there's going to be hundreds and hundreds of jobs coming up. So if you were thinking about getting into Formula One, now's probably a very good time, given the fact that there are going to be hundreds and hundreds of new jobs becoming available. Liam Lawson held up in Montreal today for an hour. What went on? Well, There are two bridges that lead onto the island where the event takes place, and one of them involves going over a drawbridge. But when a large boat comes through, the drawbridge has to raise up, and that can involve a 30 to 60-minute wait. Liam today and his girlfriend Hannah were on the end of one of those 60-minute waits, and that affected him when he got to the track. There was a whole lot of things that he couldn't get done, and he had to go straight to an engineering meeting. And I know for certain too that a number of photographers in the media centre got caught up in that, as did maybe another one or two drivers. It's unfortunate, but when you've only got two roads onto the island and two roads off, it's sometimes going to be a drama. Still on the subject of the Montreal Grand Prix, next year it will be held a little bit earlier. Now some saying, hey, that's going to be a lot colder. We may even get light snow. That'd be interesting, wouldn't it? But it also now clashes with Indy 500. I hope that when Montreal was moved to a week later, that would free up me to go to an Indy 500 race. But no, now it'll clash with the Montreal Grand Prix. And I think for motorsport fans, that's going to be a bit of a quandary. Which do you go to? A Grand Prix, not too far away in Canada, or do you head down to Indianapolis for that 500 race, which everyone tells me is a must-see. Now, last race in Spain, you might have noted that Oscar dedicated his win by riding to Edie on the big Moet Chandon bottle. Well, Edie is his sister, and she was very popular on my Women of the Paddock post. But did you know her boyfriend was also with her, and his name? Oscar. Not spelt the same as this Oscar, but O-S-K-A. Quite ironical. Some of you are asking whether or not Angela Cullen is still with Lewis Hamilton, because you don't see her very often, and I certainly don't post many pictures of her. Well, yes, she is still working with Lewis. Here she is today, coming into the track. It's just that she's not quite as visible as she used to be. I don't think I've seen her do any selfies in the paddock with fans, and believe me, she has quite a number of fans, and as it stands today, her Instagram account is still not visible. Clearly, she's flying underneath the radar, and I'm sure that's exactly what Lewis and the team would like. What you're looking at here is some artwork in front of the path where the drivers walk into the track. But on media day, we were waiting out the front, and somebody said, look at the artwork on that. And we had a look at Nico Hulkenberg first, and then all these other drivers also appear to have some dodgy print work done. But the next day, Friday, FP1 and 2 day, all of that had been replaced. How do they do that so quick? Well, F1 has their own signage contractor that goes from race to race, and all of this stuff is done at the track. Problem solved. Every year you can be guaranteed of seeing a crowd outside the Ritz-Carlton hoping to catch a glimpse of their favourite driver. This is early days, it's Wednesday afternoon. Come Friday and Saturday night, this place will be crazy. Are you a Kimi fan?
Yes, he's like my age and he's in the Formula One. That's like, wow, impressive.
And we shouted, "Hi, Kimi," and he came over here and he took his time taking pictures and talking with everyone and making sure every single person got a photo with him. So it's very sweet, very kind.
He signed it, he signed this, he was super nice, like you can't find any nicer. I would adopt him tomorrow.
It's a fan favorite, honestly. Like we see Lewis Hamilton loves this race as well. I'm a big Ferrari fan. And we just love it. We want it to stay here for as many years as we can.
There is a smaller but no less enthusiastic crowd over here at the Four Seasons hoping to catch up with their favourite driver.
This morning we saw Charles, Alex Albon.
My favourite driver, Lewis Hamilton. He has shown me what it means to be like an amazing person and what it means to have confidence within yourself.
Max Verstappen because of his mentality.
Like Alex Albon because he loves animals and so do I. Lando because he always he brings himself down but then he boosts himself back up, and I just think that's really something to admire.
Fernando Alonso, he's him.
Carlos Sainz because he's just an amazing, intelligent driver.
I popped up here to the Ritz-Carlton Apartments because Valtteri Bottas is launching some wine.
The wine was exquisite.
From Australia, McLaren Revel, made by Oliver Zaranga Vineyard, and Corina is a female winemaker. The vineyard is 6th generation family owned, and I absolutely love their wines. And it came to the point, my love for the wine, that I had to do my own blend. So here we are, finally in Canada as well.
Valtteri is kind and enigmatic, and he has the energy of a winner. When you're in the room with him, you feel like you can win at anything that you try.
Thanks for joining.
Thank you so much. I'm going to keep that in my collection. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Now, on another matter, behind me here is Montreal City, and it's quite a lovely place at night. But I did come across this tonight as I was walking back to the hotel. Ford are doing some cheeky marketing on buildings around the city. This was just one of them.
In English, that says we see each other on the starting line next year.
But some of you have sent me notes saying there's a number of these activations around the city. I'm not sure if they're paying for it, and if they're not, it's a great ambush marketing stunt. I can tell you that in my younger days, starting up my company Messages on Hold in Perth, I was the king of ambush marketing, and it certainly paid dividends for me. One thing I've seen getting a lot of comments on social media is Fernando Alonso's moustache. He's looking pretty smooth, is he not? And put in a pretty good time during FP2 today. But of course, it's what happens on Sunday that matters. And to that end, he'll be hoping to once again score points. That'll be 2 races in a row. Lewis Hamilton wore casual gear into the track on Thursday, Media Day. I believe it's a Dior outfit because he's done a collaboration with them. It was unusual because he had no one else around him. He walked pretty much on his own. There was a TV cameraman that followed him for a little bit. His security guard was there, but walked a little bit behind. But nice to see him back in casual gear, just for the one day, because on Friday, he was back to team kit. Now, I have many other things to do like you, so obviously one of the things you'll have to do, and I do appreciate you doing this, is to subscribe if you're not subscribed already, or at least like this video. And for a whole lot of extras, head over here and have a look. Thank you for watching.
And stay passionate!
They have over 2... Oh, you...